executed the signature page yesterday, and they're holding it. They basically said, you give us a copy of yours and we'll give you a copy of ours. They're really hung up about this data plate. And if we do make a deal, Carl, we're going to have to report that data plate stolen and missing. Because, if you can't find it, if we did make a deal with them, if that data plate ever turned up, it could be a real problem.
Yeah.
And I'm almost thinking, Carl, that I wouldn't put it past Guy Anderson that he may have it. I mean, do you feel that he may have taken it?
Yeah, he may have.
Did you ever show it to him at any point in time?
I could have, yeah.
Do you know when that would have been?
No, months ago.
Do you recall the last time that you saw it?
No, I don't.
I mean, do you think it was a year ago, 6 months ago?
6 months, maybe.
Really? Well, I wouldn't put it past him that he'd taken it, because they did allude that, I mean, I just, was very frank, and actually I was almost rude, to the point of rude, because, I said, you guys keep playing with us on this, and I said, you had Guy Anderson meddle with this situation. He's continually pursued Mr. Kleve, and I really don't understand what your goal and all that, but it needs to stop. If you guys really want to make a deal, then let's make a deal and stop, bullshitting each other.
Yeah.
And they said that, well, we do want to make a deal. We do want to pay Mr. Kleve, and we want to keep the car. And so, now it's down to, I called Ken Crook when I was there. I tried to call you, Carl, but the line said that all the circuits were busy. I tried you 3 times. I don't know if you had the phone off the hook or what.
I don't know that. I don't think that was
But there were also, the way that I read them, and I started thinking about it when I left there, and I told Ken this. I said, almost, when they're examining the documents, they kept bringing up this issue that Swatters Krush got the car back legally from the Belgian authorities, and therefore gave good title to Swatters, and why should Swatters even, or they didn't even say Swatters, why should anyone have to pay Kleve for a title that was now issued out of Belgium? And I said, well, so what? Somebody could have title. I could go to Alabama and get a title for $5. But that does not remove the fact that it's stolen property.
Right.
Anybody can get a title. The title is only worth its value based on representations that allowed you to get that title.
Sure.
You have to submit sufficient evidence, and if the evidence does not hold water, then that title is meaningless. At that point, it can be disputed. And the way that I read that, once we had that conversation, was, and Ken said, Mark, you better be careful, because they're thinking of some ulterior motive here at this point, is that, again, they may try to, do you know what res judicata means?
Sure.
Yeah. It means you're raising a previous decision by a court.
Previously adjudicated.
That's right. What I'm afraid of is that they could sue you and me both for title of that vehicle, saying that there was res judicata in Belgium court that awarded title to Kruch, and Kruch gave title, bona fide purchaser for value to Mr. Swatters. Now, my angle on this now is, now that even though I don't have a copy of that document yet from Philippe.
What document?
Well, yesterday I said, I'm not leaving here unless I know that Mr. Lankworth has signed that document. We will stop the discussions today unless I see that he is committed to that document. And so they brought a notary in there, and he signed it in front of me with a notary. However, they would not give me a copy of it because they wanted a copy of the document that you and I executed. And I did not feel comfortable, based on our meetings yesterday, to just to hand over a copy of that document, because previous to that, they entered into this discussion about res judicata. And my take on it, Carl, was that if they had a copy of that document, that they could say that we've entered into negotiations that could quell any efforts that we might have of still trying to recover that car, by saying that there's negotiations going on. The other thing that I found out yesterday is that Mr. Swatters, again, was able to get out of his little statement hearing and was in Spain yesterday.
He was able to
yes.
skip that?
Yeah, so I got on the phone with the attorney, and I said, you go down, and I want you to file a motion to demand for appearance with what do you call it? It's a motion to compel.
Yeah.
He said, let's quit fucking around now.
Or also a body attachment.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It'd be a persona sequestration or something like that. I can't remember what they call it, but basically go grab them.
So we don't have even a copy of...
Well, they said they're going to send it to me if I'll send them a copy of this, and I did not want to give them a copy of that until I talked to you.
Sure.
And that's why I tried to call you yesterday, because I was, wanted to get you on the phone and say, Carl, do you want me to, you want me to give them a copy of this? What do you want me to do? And I kept calling you, and the phone kept saying that, I kept getting this all circuits are busy. And so then, after giving that up, I called Ken Crook and asked him what to do, and he said, what will you accomplish by leaving there today, by taking a copy and you giving them a copy? Talk to Carl first before you do it. If you have to leave, leave, and if you make a deal to switch copies, do it later. I mean, I would rather do that and talk to you about this case and what our thoughts are about this before I just hand it over.
Yeah, I don't think we should exchange it by mail. Did you meet? You haven't met with him personally?
No, I personally met him.
Yesterday?
I got a call that the night that we talked. Was it Monday night? Yeah, Monday night. After I talked to you, he called me and he said he was in New York. He said, meet me at the law office at 2:00. Here's the address. And so, I mean, I got up at 5 a.m. the next morning and I got on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
And I came home last night. I got in at midnight.
Yeah, I see. But I still feel that we should not expect him to mail it to us, and on that basis send a copy.
No, the only way that we'll do it is really, we could do it by fax.
Well, that's not legal.
Yeah, no, fax is legal. Sure it is. All I have to do is depose him and use that as an exhibit and say, Mr. Lankworth, is this your signature? Well, what's he going to say? No. If it has a fax identifier at the top of it, and he signed it and he sent it to me, and there's proof of such, I mean, he'd be committing perjury.
Tell me, have you heard from Piero?
No, I'm going to call him now. I've not. I just got up at like 7:30, and I've been on the phone since. And I wanted to fill you in before I called anybody.
Mm-hmm. So he has okayed the $3 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, they still want to negotiate it, Carl.
Well, that's good because I've got an increase from my buyer, another $500,000.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. This thing is really building up.
Will he give that to you in written form, though?
I have every confidence that he would, as well as.
Is he still in the hospital?
Yeah.
Well,
I would expect to. I would put more confidence in him than I would in Philippe.
Okay, well, let's do this, Carl. How about I draft up a real simple statement, and you take it over to him, and all the statement will say is that, I fill in the blank, hereby by this document am giving a formal offer contingent upon recovery of the car to based on representations of condition that I will pay, and making an offer at whatever dollar figure, and get him to sign it. I mean, how's that going to hurt him or us? All that'll do is help us in negotiating this deal with Philippe and say, okay, he's come up with this offer, you want to counter it.
Right.
I mean, that would be a good bargaining chip.
Sure.
Will you be talking to him today?
I don't know. He usually calls me.
Well, do you know what hospital he's staying in?
No.
Is he there in the Cincinnati
I
area?
hesitate to bother him at the hospital. I'm dealing through his brother.
Oh, really? Well, how about, won't you deal with his brother? Give the document to his brother and say, here, can you have him, execute this so that we can know that he's serious about his offer?
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
Is his brother accessible to you?
I'm not sure where he is.
Is he there in Cincinnati?
I get phone calls from him. He may be.
Well, if he is, I mean, I'll be glad to fly up there. I'll grab you, and let's go meet these guys and get these guys committed. That is another leverage point with Philippe.
Sure.
But I don't, I kind of feel like, I didn't like what I kind of heard in that meeting yesterday. This one attorney was asking a lot of questions about how you got title and what proof you have to prove that you did buy that car and who you bought it from, and I didn't like all those questions. What do you have? Do you have any of the original copies of the bills of sale when you bought that car?
No.
You don't?
No bill of sale.
Well, what did you have when you bought it? What'd they give you?
As I recall, it was some kind of a title.
Was it an Ohio title?
I guess it was.
And did you submit it to the state in order to obtain title in Ohio?
Yeah, I put it through the local common pleas court.
Okay. A pleas court?
Common pleas.
Common pleas court?
Yeah.
And do you have a copy of that documentation?
Yeah, I've got that'll all be on record down in the courthouse.
Well, do you think you could go get that today?
Today, I'll try.
Do you not have a copy of it there at the house?
I think that's all I've got the copy of, no, I've got that in my safe deposit box. The title, which was the end result of all these this court action.
Right. And do you think that you might have a copy of the order from the court?
I'm sure the court file shows that.
No, do you have a copy of it in your safe deposit box?
I have the title.
Okay, so I needed to contact the Court of Common Pleas and find out what the judgment was?
It was granting the motion, granting the action, the application for title.
Why did you have to file this with the Court of Common Pleas? Because the state would not issue title to you?
No,